Thank you for coming, everyone. We'll get started with UCSB head coach Checketts. If you have a question, please raise your hand.
What's going on, Shotgun?
Anybody have a question for Coach Checketts? Go ahead, Shotgun.
What do you see when you look at that Oklahoma State lineup on the other side? What's kind of stands out about their team to you?
Power. They hit over the fence a bunch, hit a lot of doubles, and looks like they swing and go for it. And they got some walks in there as well. But it looks like it's a extra base hit offense.
Next up, Brian Peterson.
Coach, it's probably going to be about 100, give or take, at first pitch on Friday. How are you preparing for that kind of condition?
A lot of water, a lot of water. Try not to cry about it. So, I mean, it is what it is, and we're happy to be here. Happy to be here if it's hot, and I think the guys are getting ready for it. So, obviously our climate's a little bit different, and we're trying to get the guys to make sure that they hydrate ahead of time and take care of the preparation side of things, and not wait till they get thirsty. It's usually too late at that point. So the 16 supers at Louisville was very similar. They had turf as well, and it was really hot. So I mean, just trying to manage energy and stay in the shade as much as we can, hydrate.
Well, speaking of 16, 2 of the 3 teams in this regional were ones that you faced in the World Series 5 years ago. I know that there's no personnel different, but does that add any familiarity that you know these coaches and maybe the way they operate?
Yeah, it's been so long ago. I mean, I can barely remember what I had for breakfast. So in terms of what they're doing, we've got updated scouting reports and all that stuff. So I know the last time we played the 2 of them, we didn't score. So the goal at this point is to score.
Thank you.
Did you hear that, Jordan? Score run. Your point on board.
Next question by Shotgun again.
What does having Marcos back in the lineup do for you?
Yeah, he's a difference maker. I mean, he's a real threat. In the beginning of the season, he was our best hitter. He was driving in runs, hitting the ball over the fence. And he's really matured offensively. Early on in his career, it was all or nothing. And I think his first year he didn't walk till 3/4 the way through the season, and now he's got as many walks as he has strikeouts, and he's taken his hits, he's taken his RBIs, and it's made our lineup a lot longer. I think it's changed how whoever hits in front of him gets pitched. So it was Rodriguez last weekend. People have had to attack him more. They can't pitch around him. And then it feels a little bit like by the time they get to Mortensen, the pitchers are pretty worn out because they've had to work through, Cummings, Sprinkle, Rodriguez, and Castanon, and that can wear you down. It has made our lineup a lot longer as well. It pushes some other guys down. Mortensen into the 5-hole. Willow's really come on and swung the bat well the last month, and he's a pretty dynamic player in terms of the speed and his ability to put pressure on people and do a lot of different things. Same with McLean. His numbers don't match up. He's come back from that injury, but they don't match up with those other guys. But it's pushed those guys down to that part of the lineup, and they've performed well over the last 2-3 weeks. So Marcus has been a difference maker for us.
Any more questions for Coach Checketts? All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
We're now joined by Jordan Sprinkle and Michael McGreevy. If you have any questions, go ahead and raise your hand. Shotgun Spratling, go ahead.
Like I'm the only one here, so I have a couple questions for you guys. Mike, how much does the experience that you had in that Stanford regional in the past, how much does that experience playing in that atmosphere help coming into this weekend?
I mean, I think especially going 0-2, you have higher expectations for this year. 2 years ago was kind of a letdown, but I feel like we're more prepared now, especially the older guys as well. knowing that, we can't let the game speed us up, but it's just the same old game, and we just got to stay within ourselves and do what we got to do.
Where have you taken your game to another level this year? I mean, you moved into the rotation last year, but a little bit extra velocity this season, and have really become just a dominant guy at the front of the rotation.
I mean, I think it was all the 8 months off during quarantine. I really focused on my body. Gave my arm a rest over break, but it was more just lifting and eating and getting myself in a better physical shape. And it was great to see the results in a velo perspective when we came back in fall, and then sharper secondary stuff as well. And the mentality stayed the same of just attacking the strike zone and just going after guys.
What kind of message do you give to some of the younger guys that are experiencing the postseason for the first time?
It's the same game. I mean, it's baseball. It's the same game we've been playing since we were kids. Still got to throw the ball over the strike zone, let the guys hit it, and let the defense work behind you. So, I mean, if you're trying to do anything different, I'd say you're doing things wrong. Just got to stay within the game.
And Jordan, from a newcomer's perspective, what kind of message have you been taking from the older guys, and how are you approaching this weekend?
Well, fortunately, this morning we got a chance to talk to DJ Munoz, who was a part of the Omaha team, and he really just said stay in the moment and enjoy it. And there's not going to be a lot of moments like it. And I'd say just staying present is the main thing.
For you, how have you been able to step in just seamlessly? It seems like you guys had the injuries early in the season in the middle infield. You step in, and coach kind of expected you to be a defense first guy, but the bat has definitely taken a big step forward this season and become a big time playmaker.
Thank you. I just worked really hard with Fontino on my offense and started getting comfortable with that. Obviously, facing guys like Michael McGreevy and Rodney Boone in the fall helped a lot for when I was able to step in and get some at bats. And so, I just trusted myself, trusted God, and I let my abilities take over. And so, fortunately, I was able to stick, and now we're here. So,
with the kind of ups and downs of playing a full college season, where do you feel like you are at right now?
In regards to
just kind of the longer season than you're used to in high school, and being able to go through a couple lulls, but then find your way back and get back hitting the ball really well.
Definitely. They're like baseball. It's a failure sport. There's a lot of up and downs, and I think staying even keeled and seeing it through, and just understanding that even with the lulls, you're still a good player. And I think being present, that was the main thing that I really had to learn, and not getting too up when you do well, and not getting too down when you don't do well. And so I think that was the biggest thing I've learned in this long season, and something that I'll take in the rest of my baseball career.
Mike, what did you learn from pitching alongside Rodney? You guys kind of do it in a little bit different ways. So what's something that you've kind of taken away from him that you've been able to use to improve yourself?
Rod's very kind of thought process minded. Like, he thinks like one pitch ahead. He's like, he knows exactly what to throw. I'm more of a just go after guys. Like, hey, if it's a strike, just let the defense work. Rod's more of a swing and miss pitcher. So I always kind of pick his brain on, like, hey, if I throw this, what would you want to throw next? And it kind of helps me figure out. So once I do take that next step into pro ball, I'll know when I won't have guys like Coach Checketts calling pitches, or Mason Ang or Johnny Bloom behind the dish. I'll know exactly what to throw, just picking Rod's brain and him being so good at that. And I think he picks my brain as well, just like on the strike throwing aspect of things and just going after guys and just being athletic up there on the mound.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank
you. Of course.